Listen, Dean Ambrose re-signing with All Elite Wrestling was the smartest move of his life. And here's why. I've never said Triple H wants him back. Dude, I've made countless videos saying Dean Ambrose, he needs to stay where he's at. He needs to be an AEW lifer. He should never go back. Right? Like, I'm always saying I want this guy to go to the WWF, or this guy, Wardlow, Hobbs, etc. But I've never said I want Dean Ambrose over there. Hell no, I don't want Dean Ambrose back on Raw or SmackDown. No, he needs to stay where he's at. And I'm glad he resigned with AEW for like 5 years. That was smart. Listen, he is their Kurt Angle. Remember what Kurt Angle was for TNA? That's what Dean Ambrose is for All Elite Wrestling. Look, I'm not trying to talk for Triple H, but here are the facts. He was never a huge fan of Dean Ambrose, right? When it came to the Shield, Triple H was a fan of Seth and Reigns. He was never a huge fan of Dean Ambrose, so what makes you think he was gonna want him back? See, and I kind of felt like Triple H made a tiny shot at Dean Ambrose. There was like, well, I think it was last month or a couple of weeks ago, where Triple H said that he thinks blood is overrated. He said, wanting blood in matches is old now. He says, we should move past wanting blood in matches. To me, I felt like that was a shot at Dean Ambrose. Who's the guy that's always bleeding in multiple matches? It's Dean Ambrose. I think that was a shot at Dean Ambrose. The fact that he said that about the whole wanting to bring back blood. He said that it's not needed. He said that they should move past wanting blood in matches. It should be saved for special occasions. So, why the hell would he want Dean Ambrose back with his style of matches where every match he has to bleed? It's like, it's bad. It is bad psychology, right? The fact that he bleeds in every match, where it's like, okay, if it's not a hardcore match, if it's not a no DQ match, why the fuck are you bleeding? It's like, why does Dean Ambrose need blood in all his matches? See, that's why Triple H don't want him back. Look, let's just speak facts. When the Shield first came out, who do you think was his least favorite member based on appearance? I would choose Dean Ambrose. Look, it's obvious. I felt like Triple H was a huge fan of Seth and Roman. I don't think he was a huge fan of Dean Ambrose. It's like, he don't fit what Triple H wants out of a professional wrestler. So I bet you are wondering, well, how did Dean Ambrose get pushed the way he did? That was all Vince. Vince McMahon was a huge fan of Dean Ambrose. Like, I don't know why, but he was a huge fan of him. Like, I remember Dean Ambrose said when he told Vince that he was leaving, he said that Vince was crying. Vince did not want him to leave. So that's proof right there. Vince was a huge fan of him, but not so much Triple H. Look, I'm not saying Triple H didn't like him. It's just, as a pro wrestler, he did not view Dean Ambrose like he viewed Roman and Seth. It's like, it was quite obvious. I remember Dean Ambrose said that Triple H never really went, he said he never really went to bat for him fully. like he did Seth and Roman. Even to Vince, he said that Triple H never really went to bat for him when it came to trying to talk for him to Vince. Come on, man, that's proof right there. Triple H was never a huge fan of him. So it was smart that he is staying in AEW, and here's why. Look, this is what I heard. I heard this guy was a free agent for the past couple of weeks. Dude, Dean Ambrose was wrestling without a contract. Dog, I didn't hear any noise about whether or not Triple H was trying to re-sign him. See, with Cody Rhodes, it was different. When he was a free agent, we actually knew about it. When he was a free agent, we knew that he was talking to the WWF about possibly wanting to come back. We didn't hear anything about Dean Ambrose and Triple H trying to talk about having a contract. I didn't hear shit. So why would Triple H not want to bring him back if he was clearly wrestling on Dynamite without a contract? That means Triple H could have talked to him. That means Triple H could have paid him tons of money to bring him back. But he didn't. See what I'm saying? That's different from Cody Rhodes. Triple H did not want this guy back. It's like, why would he? Look, do you know who paid for Dean Ambrose rehab bill? It was Vince McMahon, not Triple H. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Triple H was not a fan of Dean Ambrose. It was always Vince McMahon. Listen, man, when it comes to Triple H, he's not dumb. He has ears. Of course, he has been hearing all the shit that Dean Ambrose has been saying about his company. Come on, man. Look, Triple H, he is a sports entertainer. That's what he is. What wrestler has been talking shit about sports entertainment? It's been Dean Ambrose, right? On national television, he's been talking shit about sports entertainment, which means he's been taking shots at the WWF. So by that logic, why would Triple H bring him back if he clearly doesn't want to be a part of sports entertainment, right? Look, all these guys that Triple H has been trying to bring back, like Cross, Loomis, Bray, these guys are sports entertainers, right? Look, I know that I'm always talking shit about Johnny G, but to be honest, he actually proved in NXT that he was a sports entertainer based on what he did with Theory, Loomis, and Hartwell. He proved that he can be a sports entertainer. So that's why I feel like, okay, I see why Triple H wanted to bring him back, because he proved he is a sports entertainer. See what I'm saying? Triple H has only been bringing back sports entertainers. Have you seen it? Have you noticed it? Come on, man. Bray is the face of sports entertainment. Cross, he fits sports entertainment. Not so much Dean Ambrose. So why the hell would he bring him back? And on top of that, dog, have you seen his matches? Dog, he don't fit Raw. He don't fit SmackDown. This version of Dean Ambrose does not fit Raw or SmackDown. Hell no. Listen, right now, Dean Ambrose is a multiple-time world champion in All Elite Wrestling. But still, even in spite of that, he does not feel like he's a bigger star than Seth Rollins. Even still, he's a 3-time world champion. And he still doesn't feel like he's at the same level as a Roman Reigns. So just imagine if he went back to his old company. Dog, I'm sorry, he would be a freaking mid-card guy. He would be battling for the IC title, he would be battling for the US title. I can't see him as a main eventer under Triple H. But when it comes to Tony Khan, he is a huge fanboy of Dean Ambrose. That's why he is mega pushed. It's like, I've never seen Dean Ambrose in the damn mid-card. Dog, he's been there 3 years. Since day one, he's been a main eventer. So why would you mess up a good thing? Obviously, your boss sees you as a top star, as a top guy, as a huge main eventer. You walk on water in that company. You are the top guy. You could do anything you want to do. You can wrestle shows on the indies. He can do anything he wants to do for AEW. There's no way in hell Triple H would allow him to wrestle for GCW. Are you insane? Hell no. See what I'm saying? That's what I mean by he walks on water. He can do anything he wants to do with AEW. There's no way in hell Triple H would have booked Vance Warner and Dean Ambrose for the world title. Like, that's crazy. Triple H would have never done that shit, ever. But when it comes to All Elite Wrestling, Dean has so much freedom. Why would he leave? When, look, he has a boss that's a wimp. He has a boss that he can walk all over. And he gets paid shitloads of money too, to do anything he wants to do. It's like, why would he leave? It's like he's a top guy there. He is their Kurt Angle. Right? Like, look, when it came to Kurt Angle, a lot of people tend to forget this. He actually stayed with TNA longer than he did with the WWF. That's going to be Dean Ambrose. He should be a lifer for AEW. He should be their heart soul. He should be their Tommy Dreamer. He should be a lifer for AEW because look, he has had a better career for All Elite Wrestling more than his WWF career. Let that sink in. He's had a better career with his current company than he did with his last company. So why would he leave? Just stay. Stay with your current company and help build it for the future. So it was smart that he is staying. Because dog, there was nobody that was trying to clamor for him to go back. Listen, he's never going to be Roman Reigns. If Roman is still there, it's never going to happen. Look, he's not Cody Rhodes, right? Look, let's just say hypothetically, Dean was to go back. Okay, he would get a pop, right? He would get a huge pop, but then eventually that pop will fade away, and then people will see, okay, he's the same old boring ass Dean Ambrose. He's not Cody Rhodes. Dog, when Cody Rhodes left All Elite Wrestling for the WWF, look, man, I'm gonna keep on saying it. That was a big deal. Because people felt like we was never going to see that happen. Imagine, you go to your rival company that you used to be employed by. Dog, that was a big deal. Dog, still to this day, it still feels weird seeing Cody Rhodes back with the WWF. It still feels new to me. Because that shit was a big deal. But Dean Ambrose going back, come on, man, that's not a big deal. That was not a big deal. So I'm glad he's staying where he's at. So now Dean Ambrose can wrestle all his boring ass hardcore matches. Listen, the only reason they made Dean Ambrose a WWF World Champion on SmackDown Live is so that he can look good in the Shield. They didn't want him to look like a third wheel, a third jobber compared to Seth and Roman. They wanted to give his resume some cred so the Shield can look stronger as a whole. But overall, they was never really a huge fan of Dean Ambrose, hence why he had a short reign as world champion on SmackDown Live. Okay, I'm done.